I have a very important thing to ask you.
Okay.
I mean, you haven't. It's been a minute since you've been at like office.
A real
space
people job.
Or, yeah. I was trying to be nice, but hey, I'm right there with you.
Yeah.
Half of my time is spent doing this as well. But I've noticed something that I really need to do something about, and that is like the suicidal joking. Like there's many times where with my boomer colleagues, I'm like, they're like, oh, what would you do in this case? And I was like, well, if a patient like this came up to me, I think I would kill myself. I would consider killing myself. I say it, and then in like the break room, and then they all just get quiet. And I'm like, well, it's funny. It's a joke.
I'm joking.
Never heard of a joke.
I would take all the morphine in that closet.
I love it. Yeah. But morphine, no, the benzos. On the other hand. I had what's it called? The other day it was like some discussion we had to fucking take part in, some bullshit discussion that we had to take part in. And they asked like, oh, in this particular patient case, what would you do if a patient came to you and said da-da-da-da-da and asked for da-da-da? And I just looked down, I was like, I think, the literal translation of what I said was, I think I would contemplate suicide. And then they just kind of looked at me, and they looked at me with like slight concern, and I'm like, no, I mean, actually what I would do is do the bullshit. Oh, and I realized... Yeah.
It's like people just can't chill at work at all. Yeah. It's like, I don't know. I don't know if it's not an age thing, because people like our age will also get upset at that sometimes too. I don't know. I think those jokes are funny. Maybe they're in poor taste, but I don't know. It's such a ubiquitous one now.
The boomer, oh, I hate my wife jokes are still the fucking rave, a holler. They love them. They can't get enough of them, right?
Of course.
They just haven't caught up to the newest, like the patch. New comedy patch.
Violence against others, great. Violence against yourself. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Oh my god. Should we be concerned?
Yeah, God. Oh, boomers. Well,
have you ever once considered, or not considered? I'm not. I mean,
killing myself?
No. Every time you read your comments.
Yeah, true. Yes.
No. Have you made similar comments to this at a workplace?
Absolutely. We were little shitheads back at Best Buy, because technically in the camera department, each of us three people, there's the Canon expert, the Sony expert, and the Nikon expert, we were not technically employees of Best Buy. Like, we wore a Best Buy shirt, but it also had our brand, our camera brand's logo on it. So every once in a while, we would just like really take the piss out of the floor manager when he'd try to come over and tell us to do something. He's like, hey, can you wipe down that lens case? It hasn't been done in a couple hours. So I'm like, actually, I think I'm going to kill myself. And then somebody else can do it. They just wouldn't know what to say. But yeah, that's like, they couldn't technically fire us without also reaching out to the camera brand and be like, hey, this guy's threatening to kill himself on the sales floor.
I love it.
Which I don't think they wanted to get into.
Yeah, exactly. I think there's the next iteration of this kind of joke, which still sometimes people do say in my branch of things. But nobody cares, because to us it's like a ha-ha, tee-hee, what a funny joke, but to you guys it's reality. It was like, I think I would rather shoot up the place. Or things to that effect, right?
Yeah.
Like school shooting, mass casualty event, whatever you want to call it. But in the United States, if you were to make this joke, you would very quickly get a visit from the FBI.
Someone might actually beat you up or call the cops on you, yeah. For sure.
My God. I love it. And despite that, all these school shootings still happen. There's a discrepancy there.
Yeah, no one actually wants to address it, but they want to look like they're addressing it, They want you to know that they feel badly
kids
about
on
the whole
Roblox.
It's those dang iPhones.
Oh my God, I love it. How have you been doing? Am I quiet, by the way?
No, you sound great. Minus you're a little choppy, but that could be my internet. But you sound wonderful, beautiful, amazing as always. But I've been doing pretty well. Kelsey's in-laws just arrived last night.
Very nice.
They're going to be with us for 2 weeks, and then they are going to visit Kelsey's granddad, who is doing poorly, and then they're going to be back again for another 2 weeks. So basically, we've got a month of in-laws here.
I love it.
Yeah, so we'll try to figure out how to be entertaining for a month. Extra hands for the kids, so that is nice.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, no, you have children, so I actually imagine it's a lot of help, and it's nice to have them around. It depends. I don't know why. I think when it comes to having elderly relatives, there's like an age thing about it. Up to a certain age, they're chill. And then there's a certain old age where they're just not that nice or not nice to have around. And then when they get super old, then they go back to being nice again. It's kind of like kids, right? They kind of suck from when they're born until they're like 6 years old, 7 years old.
Yeah.
Then they're pretty chill until like they're 14. Then they're kind of insufferable for a couple of years. And then they're cool again.
And then they hit 25 and they're like, oh, I understand. I'm so sorry for everything.
My God. I went grocery. I went to go get some groceries. And I'm going to sound like a... Fuck it. No, actually, no. Why?
Go on.
This shit upset me.
Let's go.
It didn't upset me, but there's this one kid. Oh my God, this one fucking kid with his mom. And she was trying so hard to be so loving and nurturing and motherly, but the kid would not shut the fuck up. It wasn't crying. It was just yapping.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, talking very loudly or yelling.
Yeah, the classic.
And I'm just like, do you remember my idea of the torment cube?
I do, but regale the audience.
Yeah. You named it that. I didn't name it that. I told JT that this is a fantastic, this is like an early 20th century experiment.
Yeah.
With probably some racist characteristic of some
You were
kind.
born in the wrong age. I tell you what, you would have been great at designing
Only
morally
Southern
questionable
whites would
experiments.
be subjected to this because of their maldeveloped frontal cortex.
Oh my God.
I'm talking about whites. It's okay. Anyway.
Yeah. Reverse racism.
The torment cube is a concept where a child that cries, I would imagine that they still have the capacity to understand negative inhibition or negative reinforcement. So you'd have a cube that would be completely sound isolated that amplifies the sound that they make. So that if they're being loud or they cry, they have it around their head and it will be loud in their ears and it will hurt them. And eventually they'll make the connection that the louder I cry, the more it hurts me. So I should instead be quiet.
Every study on children would be like, no, wrong. Don't do that.
There's a next iteration.
Okay.
In case that doesn't work and they lack the ability to understand that they can be negatively reinforced. I would have it. There would be like a little pressure gauge thing that measures or a concentration gauge, for the amount of oxygen, and it would be kind of tight. They wouldn't be completely airtight, but fairly tight. So the more they cry, the more oxygen they use, the lower the oxygen saturation ends up being. So eventually, it will get too low.
Knock themselves out.
Exactly right. And then afterwards, it automatically releases. So then they don't get hurt, but you have a child that is quiet and asleep.
Jesus Christ, and mildly asphyxiated. I look forward to your peer-reviewed study, Dr. Mengele.
I love it.
Well, howdy, y'all. Welcome back to the Deprogram. Our beautiful baby boy, Yugopnik, is currently on tour in the Orient. He is living it up in China. He sent many pictures. He looks like he's having a wonderful time eating all of the local foods at a tremendous rate. He sent us a picture of some exotic-looking ice cream. They're like, he won't stop. He's eating us out of house and home.
This is the largest man I've ever laid my eyes on. And he's just inhaling. He'll come for the children.
My pork
next.
belly.
Oh my God! At least our Dr. Pepper is safe. And then you on a plane en route. Oh, I love it. Habibi.
No, he's doing great. But anyway, we thought we'd do something light. People love the listener mailbag. They say it's one of the best episodes of podcast they've ever heard. So we're doing another installment. You guys have given us a lot to scroll through here. We haven't. I'm seeing this for the first time. I haven't looked at this yet, so we're just going to blitz it. We're going to probably skip a bunch of them if they are too complicated because we are soft and tired and we just want to chill today. So let's begin. Burhan, Hassan, what face? Yes, correct. Wow Mao on the show again when? From Crow. With 6 eye emojis.
I love it. I would love to have Whale Man back on. I think Hugo was the guy. I mean, I've talked to him. You've talked to him.
Hugo's our point man, though.
Yeah, he is. So we'll organize something else. There's so many people we want to have on as repeat guests again.
Yeah.
But it's organizational. That's always just finding the time.
Yeah. Because it's always like 2 a.m. for somebody. But we'll get it done. Freya, is Switzerland even worth it? No.
Do you want to know why?
Why?
There's the correct answer. Do you want to know why?
Why?
They're third French. And in my book, it's a 1-drop rule.
Oh, there's the blood quantum for the French.
Exactly right.
Bougie Rouge. What color is it?
Oh,
green.
You answered, JT. What
green.
color is it?
I don't even want to know. Oh no, here we go. Guess who's back? Okay, Ruther. I can't. I don't know Welsh. I don't know. A poem in Welsh for the Deprogram comrades. Okay, so there's a clue because he spelled comrades, or they spelled comrades, with a Y. So the Y must make an O sound. But I'm looking at that's a whole bunch of letters. I don't know what the hell they mean.
Main Elvish, my guy.
Oh wow. Yeah, I don't have the faintest idea.
American is perplexed by the existence of another language.
But those are my damn letters, and they don't make no sense. I see at the end Texan, Balkan, and Iraqi. That's all that I can pick out there. I'm sorry. I don't know how. Okay. Windrose system. If you boys could only eat 5 foods for the rest of your life, what would they be?
Oh boy.
Can we go
how
like
about this? We answer for each other. We answer for each other. Number 1, I know you can't live without chicken.
Yes.
I don't know if you prefer grilled or fried. I'm going to go fried.
Yeah, probably.
Fried chicken is 1.
Okay.
Another one. Some sloppy variant of a beef, like a minced beef dish. Like either a chili con carne or is it called a sloppy Joe? Is a sloppy Joe minced meat and
a slovenly Joseph? Yeah, it's a sloppy Joe.
Exactly right. It's something of that variety, right?
Okay,
so a beef dish.
I'll say chili. Sure.
Sure, chili. 5 things we say we keep it at 3. What's the third thing? It's not a drink, because in that case it would be Dr. Pepper.
Yeah.
Dude, you need some fiber in your fucking diet.
Yeah, come on. Give it to me.
Form
I'm thinking
of salad, but it's probably drenched in ranch or or Caesar salad dressing or something.
I'll give you wedge salad. I'll give you blue cheese wedge salad. How about that?
Oh yeah, the blue cheese salad. Yeah, I know you.
I love a wedge salad. All right, you pick any 3 fruits out of a garbage bin on the street of any city in the world. Mango.
Garbage bin.
Because I've thrown them away. You carried about 30 oranges for 5 miles in the last place we were. So oranges, mangoes, and dates. There you go. Those are your 3 things.
Very balanced, good fiber. I love it.
Disgusting. All right, unironically Canadian. Can we get a deep dive on a bunch of the different or even niche leftist movements that exist or existed in the past? I want to see the guys tackle ideas like syndicalism, left communism, De Leonism, Ujamaa, Nasserism, Eurocommunism, Baathism. What is this one? Pakasila? Pakasila? I don't know what that is. And whatever else we can think of. Explain the material conditions that led to their conception, their success, and ultimately why they failed and what can be learned from them. That could be a series.
But half of the things mentioned were not in the least...
not communist, not communist.
Like, No. They weren't in the least bit like, what's called obscure. Or maybe that's just being a bit of a...
I mean, you are a nerd. But yes, that could be a fun series. We would just need to plot it out like all of our other ones. Lily, Dr. Boy, if junk food's so bad for you, why is it nummy?
No, exactly right. Yeah, exactly right. Crack is also fantastic, by the way. So it must be good for you.
Therefore, Sketty Sauce, how do you prepare your asshole for getting pegged, and what's your favorite position? Pass? Thank you. Freya, least favorite language other than French?
I mean, all languages are beautiful. Other than French. Unless the French is spoken by an African person.
Really?
African origin. I don't know why. It's something about the cadence of the way that they speak it. It's the same thing in Arabic. When you meet somebody who's sub-Saharan and they speak Arabic, there's like a lot of times, not everybody, but there's like a timbre to the voice that's different. Right? It just comes out sounding different, but it's very pleasant. I've heard it. You hear it sometimes in English, you hear it with French, you hear it with Arabic, even Russian. When you hear somebody from that part of the world speak it, it's very, very interesting. Must probably has to do with something with the vocal cords being slightly thicker or something. Who knows?
Huh. Cool. Meme Lord Chungus. Lamau. Okay.
You skipped over the question. How about this? JT, name 3.
I can't answer. You're invincible because you're one of them foreigners, but I as a white man cannot answer.
How about this? What are your 3 least favorite English dialects or accents? How about that?
Oh, okay. Connecticut. where they drop the T's in words, so kitten becomes kitten. I hate that. California Valley Girl, probably.
That's the vocal fry, the really long, drawn out, yeah.
Yep, that's very annoying. And Minnesota is kind of annoying. It's like almost Canadian, but like a little more obnoxious.
Is there something called an Appalachian dialect?
Appalachian, I mean, it depends on where you are. There are so many different variants. Yeah. Like my uncle has done he's an author, and he's done some writing on like this particular island. I believe it's called Ocracoke Island. It's like the only place in the United States where they've got this particular accent and a particular dialect. It's very, very interesting. But there are so many. I'm sure I'm forgetting a bunch of annoying ones. I would say those are the ones that come to mind, though. Yeah.
Very nice.
Gara says, episode on Spain and its history of dictator Franco when?
Ooh,
yeah, we could do another Pinochet-esque one. I know you people loved the Pinochet one.
A back and to the left kind of thing. Would be actually a lot of fun to prep. It's such an interesting history.
13 says, what do you think is missing from the current leftist movements in the West that should be included or incorporated?
Class analysis.
Yeah, I mean, like, literally anything other than aesthetics.
Optics, my guy. All right.
Yeah, which funnily also is missing among like the organized U.S. parties like CPUSA. They are terrible at marketing, terrible at updating their image, terrible at reaching out, terrible at recruiting. This is the national branch, at least. You know, I'm just polish it up, guys. That's like as my job as a propagandist. I'm like, please, for the love of God, just learn how to work a camera so your conferences look at least somewhat professional. Every right-wing freak with like what's his name? The one fascist dude.
Oh, I thought you were gonna have to get a lot more specific.
That doesn't narrow it down, I realize. Yeah. Anyway, they all have like a nice podcast-looking setup, and it's like one dude, a few dudes. Figure it out. Be the Communist Party of the United States if you want to claim that name.
Guy, to do it, to set it up for you. Then, if you don't want to, like,
honestly, it's not hard.
There's many AJT out there with the like the camera know-how and whatnot to
bright-eyed, bushy-tailed young communists looking to do something. Find them.
Right.
Parsa Barca, will you guys ever do a segment on Okishio's theorem? I don't know what that is, or maybe just an episode on economic theory. I don't care if that's boring or not.
No, it's all right. Look up Cockshot's response. It's on YouTube. It's very good. I've kind of like paraphrased Cockshot's delivery in my video on the labor theory of value, so you can take a look there. We won't go through it here, but it's both explained very one or the other. Just take a look.
Yeah. All right, Freya. Oh no. What do I do if I speak French? Let me dredge up my French. Le suicide, something like that. No. Do you think French? You know what? It's not a terrible language. I'll say that.
Reaction. I knew it. I knew a reaction.
I'm sorry.
Was coming my way. No. I always play it up. I'm joking.
Yeah.
This kind of stuff for the most part.
It's good to speak more than one language. Yeah. Like that's a good thing. There you go. You got to tell me how to pronounce this. It's even in parentheses, like the explanation is Ruther. Is it like that kind of thing, like a Hamas kind of thing? Anyway, who would win in a fight, Mitch Whiting or Slurp Bofa? Clearly, Mitch Whiting is too busy jerking him rod, writing his posts on LinkedIn. Unigo Dolce. Dr. Hakeem, can you give me your leftover printing tokens from college? It's too expensive over here in Texas.
Dude, I wish I could. Do you know how many I had? I told people this. I went.
What is a printing token?
When I was in university, there used to be like a student printing press thing where basically if each student got a certain amount of like tokens essentially, and you can use these to subsidize printing like notes and stuff like that. And I would go around, I would collect other people's tokens because they wouldn't be using them. I'd be like, just give them to me. And then I would go and I'd be there every like other day maybe. And I'd be printing entire books.
Of course.
I love it.
That's the most Hakeem thing imaginable.
Yeah, I love it. I would do these double-sided it would be double-sided print, and it would be 2 pages on one A4. And I just blast them.
Does that use twice the tokens, or is that like an exploit?
That's a hack.
That's an S tier hack. Okay,
exactly right. Oh my god, I loved it. But
tiny font.
You know, actually, I regret the fact that I didn't use up my tokens before I left.
Damn. Can you go back? You still have them?
No. I'm sure they're somewhere. I'm sure I still have the login and whatnot, but...
That's funny. Yeah. Meme Lord Chungus. Hey, gang, me again. Question 1. Do you have a favorite reactionary to point at and laugh/dunk on?
Shapiro.
A favorite reactionary? Yeah, he's... Honestly, I think it might be Peterson, though.
Yeah. Actually, yeah, because he cries on the fucking time.
Yeah. He does have that
dying?
one banger quote. Yeah, apparently he's dying. I don't know. Though this is what happened with Charlie Kirk, too. We were recording, and I start getting pings like, oh, it looks like Charlie Kirk may be dead. I don't know. Let's continue recording. I wonder if that's going to happen with this episode with Peterson.
Oh, my God. The Deprogram curse? Let's do it.
Yeah. Do we have the Lathe of Heaven? All
right. Yeah. Start pinging us about Netanyahu.
Yeah, probably Peterson. And question 2, if someone made a sitcom about the adventures of the Deprogram on an around-the-world tour, who would you want playing all of you? I want to be Idris Elba. I think he really captures my vibe.
Exactly right. I'll be Jackie Chan. Is that what?
There we go. All right. We got to figure it out. And Hugo can be Barbara Streisand. All right, moving on.
There we go.
Kat Guevara, any episode on the historic South Africa coming soon? Nothing we have planned.
Yeah, we played around with the idea of doing like a short little series, maybe 4 parts at the time, and we want to get some guests on for at least 2 of them. But it's such a huge series, and we're like, if we're gonna do this, we want it to be like documentary style and nice.
Yeah.
And the thing is that we have JT with us, mashallah, and this man, if you utter the word documentary around him, he gets harder than titanium.
Yeah.
So then it becomes from like maybe we can bust this out in like a month's worth of work to, okay, now this is a 2-year project.
Yeah.
we need to
I need $12,000 worth of gear.
yeah, exactly right. And then he runs to his wife, be like, I need this $60,000 camera.
You don't understand. It's for shit posting.
So yeah, but no, we'll hopefully do something like that.
Yeah, we've got some stuff on in the pipeline. Stalin's best pupil asks, which project of yours each individually took the longest to complete? Mine was the stupid new F-word series, just because I was working with a really old, really annoying, very particular liberal man, and that was a huge mistake. I would like to redo that series at some point, not with that person.
Hold on, because it was behind. You had to pay for it, right? It was part of the.
It was a Nebula thing.
Nebula thing,
yeah.
Exactly right. So I never ended up watching it or like getting access to it.
A lot of people liked it, but it's kind of butts.
Yeah. What was the
main
about?
thrust? It was just an examination of the past forms of fascism and its modern resurgence in various parts of the world. So it was like a good premise, but could have been done better.
Very nice. Yeah. That sounds like a great time. Yeah, dude, redo it. We can, if you want, we can even do it as part of our.
I think that would be a banger. I think that'd be really good.
Yeah. I can imagine though working with boomers. Jesus Christ.
Oh, it was terrible. The dude was like 79 or something.
What was it? Was the liberalism that was the issue, or was he just very pedantic?
No, like he was a sweet-ish guy, but he didn't understand what YouTube was, or what like any of the platforms we were working with were, or how the videos were being made, or what goes into making a video. So he would provide.
But he was
scripts.
The highest executive on this.
Yeah, no, he was like the historical advisor, I think was his official title, but he ended up writing all the scripts because he was just such a nerd and retired and stuff. I'm like, my guy, I need to rewrite all of these. This is not video format. This is like an academic paper. But yeah, it just, working with old people is a struggle sometimes.
I noticed this as well. It's like you can work with the. This is probably much more common in other fields. Like in my field, you do have to kind of be up to date. Otherwise, you get. But you do sometimes be people like they don't know how to use an email, so it's just not expected of them.
Yeah.
Check their email. Like, oh, I've never known computers. It's just not like they've existed for 40. I don't care if you're 75. They've existed for half of your life. You could have taken a summer to learn how to fucking open a Word document.
That's like my granddad. He's like big businessman. He was a sugar salesman for AGM. I can never remember what it is, but he sold all the sugar to Coca-Cola and stuff like that. He was the last one on their team to get a computer in I want to say it was like 2008. They made him get a computer, But yeah, it's interesting to hear. It's like, yeah, we just never had to. It's like, why? Okay, whatever.
And imagine, like, everybody listening to this, imagine if that was your, like, oh, like, some new technology rolls around, and they're just like, oh, I don't want to do it, I don't want to learn it, and they just let you. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand how, anyways.
Whatever. What's your project?
Longest?
Yeah.
Longest thing? Oof, I don't know, actually. Maybe the racism series one, the history of like racism, racialism, whatever the fuck, human biodiversity, or whatever the fuck they want to call it. But it was also incredibly fun to do. It's a shame that the second it was supposed to be 4 parts. I did 1 part. It fucking blew up. It did really well. I did the second part and the third part, which ate ass. They did really badly.
That's always how it goes. Oh.
Yeah, and then I was like, fuck it, I'm not gonna make a 4th part because it's so demoralizing.
Yeah.
But the 4th part was supposed to be the culmination of it. But I kind of like a spiritual like tying together of all this was my liberalism is a death cult. Video, which is like 50 minutes or something. Which is still one of my favorite things. One of the things I'm most proud of. Thank you. Amongst other stuff. I think I've probably worked longer on some Deprogram stuff on my channel, though. Being fully honest.
Speaking of Deprogram stuff, Simple Value says, Hakeem, you've had me edged for like 3 years at this point. Is there a Stalin autopsy report on the horizon? And if not, will it be episode 300?
A family member literally just asked me about that yesterday. They're like, when is the Stalin one coming?
The people want it.
I'm like, yeah, I know. I'm like, oh, God. Dude, do you know why? It's because the Stalin one is so interesting that I end up falling down the rabbit hole, and it's going to be like 3 hours probably. It's going to be a long episode. Because it's not just going to be like, oh, you know, he had hypertension. Ooh. No, it's going to be about like the point of the original series. That's why I'm like, oh, were they assassinated or not?
Yeah.
The stupid fucking write-up I have.
Is it poison? Is it natural? I love that intro so much.
Habibi, we can, you know what, just for you, يعني لعيونك حبيبي, I will make it the next autopsy report.
There you go. You heard it here first, folks.
Exactly right. So now it's just the boys have to say, yeah, well, let's do an autopsy report next. And I'm like, you know what, you got it.
Absolutely. Slamfire386, is individualism and prima donnaism hindering organizing in the Western left? Yes and no. Yes, because obviously that's what we do best. We are all about making things all about ourselves. No, because, well, I guess that's also a yes, but it's like a yes with an asterisk. It is because organizations are allowing this to be the case instead of trying to do it more laterally, democratically. They're like, oh, this YouTuber is driving a bunch of like interest in our organization, and they're doing all the recruiting for us. Okay, we're going to continue to let them do that instead of reaching out and working with them and figuring out how to do it within the organization. So yes.
I have a feeling this might be targeted a particular one.
A point of contention, yes.
If I can be the what's it called, the armchair brown man staring in from the outside.
Please.
I would say from what I've seen, there's this it's a result of the hyper-atomization that capitalism drives, that Western societies have become so hyper-individualistic. Most Western societies were like China and India and the Arab world and Africa and whatnot, where they had highly integrated social communities. They're very community-focused generally. The community was greater than the individual. Sometimes you understand that your own suffering does not supersede the benefit for the collective and so on and so forth. But that just disappeared because capitalism developed so much more and so quickly here comparatively to other places, right? So as a result, Americans, for example, are highly individualistic from what I've seen. Not because there's something wrong with them culturally in that way. It's just that's what the economic base has driven this change in interpersonal relationships. But as a result of this, there is a severe, I guess, I don't know, dislike or discomfort with being uncomfortable around, like a perfect example, something that the Chinese communists used to do and still do. It's actually interesting. You see some of their like meetings are on camera, and they still do the criticism and self-criticism thing, in which basically you criticize fairly outright and sharply another person's particular policy or way of doing things, and then afterwards you also do the self-criticism bit where you talk about things that you may do wrong, how you can improve, constructive criticism back and forth. But I can't imagine that in like an American leftist organization where you kind of like what do they say in English? You point somebody out, you single somebody out, excuse me.
Yeah.
Right? Even if you're singling each other out and you mention, hey, this is something you did wrong because of this. You're too arrogant in your application of this kind of stuff. You were too hasty with doing this. You didn't do your due diligence and whatnot. The next time you need to check XYZ, you need to come consult with this person and that person. You need to, whatever the fuck, right? Read this particular piece of work so you can improve your understanding. Also, things that I do wrong is XYZ. I have a feeling that Americans can't do this, at least from my vibe that I'm getting.
Yeah, we're, I think, a little bit too soft-skinned for that. And too much of like a kind of safe space mentality within organizations, and probably not all branches, because I've been to some meetings in some various organizational branches that are like, oh, this rocks. This is actually pretty radical. But I think generally speaking, we're too afraid to make people feel like we are alienating them or singling them out, and they might take it as like an attack on an aspect of their person, which is, you know, you got to be careful. At least that's the thinking. The politism. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I was just gonna say, like building a little bit on top of that. The organizations, especially in this particular field, they're like metal. They need to be tempered, right? Yeah. This is one of the, like, you have to become like a harder person in that way. You need to thicken up your skin. You need to be able to, because inshallah, when things happen and the class contradictions progress and sharpen in a way that we could hopefully expect a positive development, right? It's not going to be about, you know, like, ooh, nasty words, oh my gosh, you were in an argument. It's going to come to blows. It's going to come to violence, like armed violence as well, and so on and so forth. That's how revolutions go. If you can't take, you know, somebody being a little bit mean to you during in a meeting, but for your own good and for their own good and for the organization's good, then you get. It's also like a little bit like this in, for example, medicine. To draw the parallel to my own life, right? Sometimes you just have a hard ass. I'll give a perfect example. In my last year in med school, we had pediatric rotations, and meaning like we were going around the child medicine section of the hospital. That's what pediatrics is. And we had this hard ass of fucking. He was a resident. He wasn't even an attending. Right, like he wasn't like the top dog, right? He was a guy who was hoping to specialize, or in his process of specializing as a pediatrician, but at the hospital level. And every time we'd see him, which was several times a week during that rotation, he would grill the fuck out of us, and he was so mean. He was such a dick. He would it came to a point that he would tell some people, like, I don't even know how you made it through 6 years of med school. Wow. I don't know how you've that's tame for the guy. Like and he would do a favorite of what's it called, med school examiners or professors, something called pimping, where you find a soft spot of something that you don't know, right? Like a particular process or disease or whatever the fuck, right? That your knowledge is weak on, and they will just focus on that, and they'll go deeper and deeper and deeper to show you just how little you know about it. Wow. Right? It's like a thoroughly demoralizing experience. But the difference is when that would happen, I and my colleagues in med school would go home that day, and we would study the shit out of anything we could, right? Just to defend yourself, what might come in the next. And genuinely, that was one of the ways that because pediatric, it was like the end of med school. I was so fucking tired. 6 years of eating shit. I was fucking tired, right? And then afterwards, seeing this guy, this motherfucker who'd bust my balls every fucking day. Then I was like, you know what? I have to get. And then in the end, I became really good at pediatrics, which I felt was a weak subject for me because of him. And I'm saying that this is also a parallel when it comes to, like, not a one-to-one parallel, but you understand the kind of the essence of what I'm trying to tell you.
As iron sharpens iron, so one man sharpens another.
Exactly right. That's number one. Number two, the current president of China and the chairman of the CPC and the head of its military commission, basically the Marxist on the world on the world stage right now, the guy, right, Xi Jinping. He was denounced and forced to be sent to the countryside where he had to spend 15 years working his way back up and all that kind of stuff. Imagine if that happened in the United States. Where people, I'm sorry to say, like, sometimes you see something like they break organizations break apart because of like, you know, somebody was a little bit mean, or like, oh, DMs got leaked where they said something that was just kind of not that nice, right? Yeah. Imagine if you had to go and you lose 15 years of progress. You have to start from the beginning, and you have
get
to
the fuck out.
and you have to like have the breadth of mind to understand that this is like something that this is good for the country, that this has happened. You only become better as a leader and organizer and whatnot through this. That's I think that's what I'm getting at.
For sure. Yeah, and hopefully we can get somewhere close to that as things to continue to get worse here in the United States. People will be like, okay, you know, buck up, everybody. Time to get this right. But
I'm gonna download the Meta. What's it called? AI girlfriend. All right.
Oh my God.
Like, tell me you agree with me that Deleonist or revisionist.
Wow. Teaser for the series on all the different lefty things. All right, our boy, the Paltism. Do the three of you speak a common language aside from English? Not expecting JT to, because American. Look, I'll have you know, I speak Pig Latin. I speak... that's all I got. That's all I got. A little Spanish.
Exactly, and not a little. He's good, mashallah. He is good. He is giving. You know, we tease him about the American thing. This is a very, very smart man in front of you, who's also very good at, especially with the abysmal status of like language education in the States, and also how little exposure people have to proper language. Like, you're just surrounded by English and nothing else, right? So no, absolutely not. Do we have Hugo and I have not a common language, but a common language family that sometimes I freak him out with when when he's talking and I reply. So yeah, I'll just leave it at that. But it's a lot of fun because then also it allows us to have like these cultural exchange moments where in order to say JT's just sitting there like, oh, what's going on, guys?
Yeah, they're like, oh yeah, I know what you mean, bro. And I'm like, do you guys like chicken nuggets?
No, we always include you, Habibi. Always.
Yeah, very sweet. They always explain it to me. All right, Rutherk, again, serious question. What's your guys' prediction for the next decade till 2035 around the world, geopolitically, etc.? Are you optimistic, pessimistic? Big question. Generally optimistic, I think.
I think I will get to bust on JT's curls.
There you go.
In this next that will happen.
If Israel doesn't nuke everybody else, and if the United States doesn't also nuke everybody else.
It's one or the other, right? It's either nuclear holocaust or me busting on JT's curls.
Yeah. Which way, Western man?
Oh my God.
Second actual question, mainly for JT, but other lads feel free to join in. Should humanity in the far future pursue an interplanetary civilization, or should we leave the other planets alone? You know, if we can pull it off, sure. Personally, I don't think there's anything wrong with setting up shop on other planets. None of them are as good as Earth is the thing. Like, so I think it is a good idea in the long run, once we have the technology to terraform or make habitats that are sustainable on, you know, Europa or in the atmosphere of Venus or on the Martian surface or something like that. It's good insurance against getting bonked by an asteroid or something. But yeah, like when the people are like, but what if there's the microbes on Mars? I don't really care about that, unless something significant was found. Like, we've already introduced a bunch of bullshit on Mars and the moon, so it's who's to say where those microbes came from in the first place. So yeah, I think that ship has sailed. But as far as like an insurance policy, yeah, it's probably a good idea.
Yeah, nothing to. I don't. I'm thinking let's take care of the planet we have.
Agreed.
I've always found, maybe this is just me, but I've always found the fascination of just like going out. It's like a bit of that like weird, like.
It's the frontier
crusading,
spirit.
You know, manifest destiny, but it's never good. It's always reactionary garbage. I understand that that's not what these people mean when they talk about like, oh, how cool it would be to explore space. But that includes also like, what? So we can also set up like, you know, concentration camps and shit on these other and horribly pollute and shit. And the idea is like, oh, well, it'll be insurance against, you know, like if something happens. Yeah, but like hypothetically, an asteroid comes and smacks Earth. And all these many billions of people die, and then you have some little colony over there. It's just going to recreate like, you know, structural and racial inequalities. But like it's like, let's deal with what we have on here and then think about that stuff later. Yeah. Right.
Yeah. I think there's some wisdom in Whitey's on the Moon, that old song, during the space race. Okay, gee golly, Hakeem, can we please have another recipe? The spiced rice was magnificent.
Oh, I'm so glad you liked it. Another recipe. Sure, yeah, I can write something up. Nothing comes to mind right now. Ooh, my wife makes some good food, my guy. I met my match. She's mashallah. She's a very very cook.
That's
very
awesome.
Good cook. Yeah.
Maybe our boy will drop it in the chat when he's ready.
Yeah, exactly right. I think I'm gonna steal one of her recipes. I'm thinking there's one particular dish where it's just like that's my turn to cook. What do you what do you want me to make? I'm just like I just give her a look. I just give her a look.
I need to know.
It's feta de judge for anybody. For the Arabs listening, feta de judge. It's absolutely delicious. It's a rice and chicken dish with this lovely sauce. I'll write it up.
That sounds delicious. Freya, should we make a history of socialism, I guess, inspired by History of the Entire World, I guess, by Bill Wirtz? I mean, it's not my wheelhouse. Hugo might be able to do it, but I would leave that to somebody like Wow Mao, maybe, like a really really kind of bullshit one. Could be kind of fun, but I think anybody else would just come off as a little tryhard.
Yeah, and also it would not be any useful way. Like, it would not be for it would just be to entertain. It would be a meme, right?
Yeah.
You wouldn't be able because it's
Kat Guevara, Hakeem, do you think China/Vietnam's post-78/86 model is more stable and realistic for a transitionary stage than the post-40s USSR/Eastern Bloc model when it comes to countries with larger labor force? A real question.
Wow. Yes, wow. Which countries are still exist in that socioeconomic setup? That's your answer there. Yes, absolutely. It is the correct way of doing it. That's clearly evidenced by the Chinese and Vietnamese examples, the Laotian examples to a lesser extent. And it's what there's a balance there, and there needs to be a plan for eventual return to central economic planning, or some sort of involvement. The commanding heights need to be controlled, blah blah. The political system has to be very specifically set up, right? You can't do what the Soviets tried to do with the nonsense opening up that they tried, the glasnost and perestroika nonsense that they tried to do. But yeah, it is the way to go. There's caveats to it, because a lot of people say transitional stage. The Chinese consider it to be the primary stage of transition. There's a lot of, when you read into their literature, which I highly recommend, nobody reads Chinese Marxists, modern Chinese. None of all these people who have all these opinions, right? Who could not fucking name 3 cities in China, let alone read them and see their opinions, or at least read Roland Bohr's book, so you can have a kind of a perspective, even if you disagree with it. Have a perspective on what they're trying to do. But their version or their idea of it is that socialism begins in the transitional stage, which is itself a several stage process. Socialism is a several stage process. Communism is a several stage process. And the transition from capitalism, to the transitional stage has to take form through the setup that they currently have. So the very beginning of the process is the one that they're still in, and it's the one that they have been planning to be in for at least 100 years, which is from the founding of the People's Republic until 2049. That's why a lot of people have the meme where they're like, Xi Jinping will press the communism button in January 1st, 2049 or 2050.
It'd be sick if he did, though.
Honestly, oh my god. But yeah, and of course there's some caveats when you read their stuff. They're like, why are they still including markets? They're still talking about markets for their subsequent economic plans. It's like, how about you let the largest communist organization to ever fucking exist with people who are vastly more well-read than you, right? Who have access to all their economic data and everything. Let them do their thing and let's see where they get, right? Yeah. And how about you, with all your fantastic and great ideas, create your revolution in whatever fucking country you're in, and then you do the things that you think are right with your organization through democratic consensus, all that kind of shit, and see where you end up. See where you get. Please, for fuck's sake, please.
Well said. Speaking of revolution, and revolution in particular places versus every place, what are some concrete, this is from Kabab, what are some concrete critiques of permanent revolution? I've been challenged by Trots, but my monkey brain is too small.
There's a few different understandings of what permanent revolution is. I don't really have the energy to really get into it, but the TLDR of it is that the Trotsky intended version versus what came afterwards. There's a few Trotskyite and Trotskyite light theorists that kind of morphed it into their own perspective. There's that one famous Trotskyite that his name fucking escapes me right now. Tony Cliff. Ted Grant and Ernst Mandel. Yes, Ernst Mandel was the one I was thinking about. They each, or specifically Mandel, but I think also Grant had their specific idea of who they wanted or how they wanted it to look like. You don't need to think about it in the form of critiques. This is something I to expand from the previous point. Think about it from the point of organizational development. First of all, no Trotskyite political organization has ever been in the vicinity of smelling political power, let alone of it, like, you know, as compared to the many dozens of Marxist-Leninist organizations or their derivatives, number one. And number two, fundamentally, right, the idea and the goal is to have an international socialist system, but that won't be how. That is utopian thinking at a point, right? And that's why you develop concepts of having, you know, trying to develop some sort of socialism in a singular country. That's why you develop siege mentalities and whatnot. But all this is shifting, right? Because those countries have to exist in a incredibly lopsided multipolar world, which is still under the guise of the quasi-unipolar, like, military, economic, and so on and so forth, domination of the United States. That existed as the sole, like, unipolar power and from the 1990s until now, and now it's changing significantly. But the difference is that the United States is in waning power, right? And there's no other capitalist power of that formulation, right? Instead, before somebody comes and says, "Oh, well, China's ascendancy," well, there's a conversation for a different point. I mean, a nation like the United States, like Britain, like France, like Germany, you know, these major capitalist powers that came before the United States. Nothing like it that's in ascendancy right now. Everything else is in decline. The United States is the most like prominent example of a large capitalist nation in decline in that way. So in the future, there might be a possibility to have like a dominant global social system that will cover most of the globe, not all of it. There's some capitalist nations will still be around, but it will be the opposite image. Instead of the socialist nations being besieged, really, it will be the capitalist nations instead. If you understand what I mean, they'll be the ones that will be limited through trade embargoes of different kinds or diplomatic isolation or whatever else, right? And as a subsequent result of this, certain Trotskyite ideas can gain some merit, right? But that doesn't mean that he was necessarily correct. It just means that material analysis necessitates changing policy. At the time that Trotsky was writing, he was wrong, like explicitly. But that we can do a proper thing about it. We probably should. It's just I don't like rehashing it because for most people, they don't give a damn. They don't care. Right? There's all of like 15 Trotskyists in the world. Who cares?
True. All right. More important question. Mikasa Sukasa, Minecraft stream with the boys when? I haven't played Minecraft in a long time. I do love Minecraft. Like, the music is very nostalgic for me. I played Minecraft back in its alpha days. A buddy of mine brought his laptop to school one day, and he's like, "Yo, check out this game that I found." I'm like, "This looks like dog shit, dude. The graphics are terrible." And then, lo and behold, it's one of the best, most long-lived games of all time. Yeah, well, if you goes down, I do plan on going on You Got Mixed stream to play some Battlefield 6 in the near future. He and I are both into that. Fun. Yeah. Okay, moving on. Maddie. At what stage is materialist analysis most useful in socialist organizing? Do we need to fully understand the material conditions of any situation before acting, or is it more effective to act and adjust our analysis through practice? In other words, how do we balance theoretical work with organizing in real time?
Ooh.
That's a thoughtful question. There's the move fast and break stuff approach. And then there's the deliberate and stick your thumb up your butt and sit there and talk about everything too much. And I think both of those are not correct. You do just need to find the right balance for your organization, your community. Like, how dire is the situation? Is it better to act sooner and maybe not get everything 100% right, but hey, you prevent a parasitic landlord from buying up more housing or something like that? Or is it more important to really plan 5 years ahead and take over your city council or something like that? It just depends.
Yeah. And that's very, very important and astute for like these local organizational actions that happen. Like in the overview image or like a bird's eye view. you should always have a proper material analysis of the major conditions of your area. Why are, for example, there is your neighborhood or your like city or whatever is very clearly segregated along racial lines, for example, or income disparity or whatnot, despite the fact that there's no laws in the books that necessitate that. Why is that the case? Why did these people end up there, right? These particular people, this racial subgroup or whatever, right? And also then you look at what are the subsequent results of this, right? How are the water and electricity and other services, ambulances, fire, all this kind of stuff, do they reach, and what kind of, like, map out the inconsistencies of all this stuff. This will be relevant for your analysis in the future, for organizing, for developing mutual aid or like dual power organs and so on and so forth. So in the overview image, you should have a proper analysis. Materials analysis should be applied always, by the way. That's how you reach correct answers. But when it comes to action, Engels said an ounce of practice is worth a ton of theory. Dare to do things and make some mistakes. Just be careful that nobody gets hurt. A lot of the times, like, we talk about the necessity of certain large-scale political shifts and changes and whatnot. But for most people, right, particularly in the West, the political action that you'll be able to take is, for example, make housing slightly more affordable, or manage to make some, like, daycare service available, or like these kind of much more small, very meaningful, but but much smaller scale than the grand, we stormed the Winter Palace, and
Yep. Fed Postmaster, why does wearing a t-shirt and no pants feel extra naked? That is another thoughtful question, and I think I agree that is the case. Why that is the case, I don't know. I think because being fully clothed is a normal state, and being fully naked is a normal state, but being half clothed or half naked, depending on your outlook, is not a normal state, and it feels weird.
But if you have pants and no shirt on, it's okay.
It's more socially acceptable,
Yeah. I think that's the crux of the matter. There's the social acceptability point. GT, are you? I don't remember. You're an underwear sleeper. Like you sleep with nothing, but no.
Yeah, nothing. Naked is the day I came into this world.
Really? No, you don't sleep naked. You sleep with underwear on. I've seen you.
Yeah, like when I'm out with people, like if I'm not trying to flash anybody. But
if you're home alone, you're gonna be completely naked in bed.
Yeah.
How have I just
found that way? You get the extra intimidation tactic if someone breaks into your house. You jump out of bed. Yeah. Right.
You whip it out. It's pre-whipped.
Yeah, you're ready to go. You don't need. You're not going to lose any time drawing.
Pre-order whippage. Pre-order whippage of the peen. Oh my God. How have I known? But no, you. Damn. Okay, I'm disappointed. No, because whenever we're hanging out, you got underwear on. What's that about, my guy?
Again, back to the social acceptability thing. Yeah. Well,
it's very socially acceptable in this house. Come on.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. What am I talking about? Okay, moving on. Let's see. Andrew Murray, fan of the show. I know he's a.
Him and Paultism are both Habibi tier patrons.
Yeah. Big shout out to them.
Which means that they get absolutely fantastic perks, like our live discussions once monthly, amongst many others, and we love them very much. We give them tiny little kisses on their what are the holes in the sides of the underneath your dimples?
What?
The dimples. Yes, we give them little the indentations. Whatever the fuck you want to call them.
Right?
Yes. So Andrew and Paul and our lovely Paultism, both of you get very gentle and loving little mwah on your
and a salute. Yes. All right, you three are
pre-whip. Yeah. All right, sorry, go on.
You three are stranded on a desert island. JT's chicken nugget reserves have run low. Yugopnik has run out of rum, and Hakeem is too distracted by JT's legendary dump truck to be much help in gathering food. Which one of you gets eaten first? And also, how would you prepare the meat, and what would the ideal side dish be? Who would be eaten first? Like, we wouldn't eat each other, clearly.
No.
But if we were to, I am the fastest of these three. I guarantee it. Y'all ain't catching me.
No.
I'll hang out I'll hide in the woods. I'll make myself a ghillie suit of banana leaves and coconuts, and I'll sneak up and get one of you.
I don't think. Yeah, exactly right.
Hog pre-whipped.
I'm walking, and unbeknownst to me, JT is around. I hope he doesn't.
I sure hope
jump
he's not
me.
in that conspicuous pile of banana leaves.
Exactly right. I don't know who would eat who. We'd all be eating each other in different ways.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
we'll just go in a circle. We'll each carve off a little piece.
Exactly
We could do it the way old seamen stranded at sea did it. We'll draw lots or something. Yeah, we'll eat the trees. I don't know. We're grass. We're fine. Mo Amian, I don't know how to pronounce that last name. Sorry. Can we get some episodes about the Pan-Arab movement? Assalamu alaikum, Hakeem. And how do you get people in your life to not be so against socialism because of the religious suppression in the Soviet Union? As a Muslim, some of my peers bring that point up, unfortunately.
Yeah, well, talk about how wrong it is. Talk about how they made mistakes, and then you discuss the economic side of things, and you link it to the religious bit. That's the easiest way to do it. And the primary point of socialism is the economic bit, right? You can kind of finagle that into an understanding. It's like kind of in the United States, you just describe socialism, everybody's on board, then you say the word socialism, they're like, oh my gosh, no, when they clutch the pearls or whatever people say. It's the same thing. So you just have patience and the aforementioned info.
Yep. Seal, I need new music to listen to, please. English or non-English? Jason Isbell, if you're into, like, I don't want to say country because it's not the American slop country, like my dog in my truck in the mud. And, it's not that, but it's like singer-songwriter stuff. Jason Isbell, very good.
Dude, I listen to the same, like, 3 artists all the time, right? I love Bamboo. I listen to him all the fucking time. Listen to Bamboo, right? Bambu, right? The man does not have a single bad song.
There you go. We have one from each of us. One of them, Decrepit Whites, said, the world is in such a strange state when it comes to world politics and money. We need a report, a geopolitical economy report. In short, when will we get Ben Norton back on the show?
Dude, I was in the shower yesterday. And I have my phone with me, and I wrap it in this like plastic bag, and I watch stuff while I shower, or I listen to stuff more accurately. And I was like, for some reason I haven't had the chance to check out the latest geopolitical economy report, so just cycle through a couple of them while I was showering and then cleaning around the house and stuff like that. And I was thinking, I need to get this motherfucker back on. I love him.
He's great.
Yeah, we'll do that. We'll absolutely do that.
Bumping up to the top of the list.
A certain large Balkan man will also manage to link up. We'll see.
Schlimbo. As I am a good communist and organize and touch grass, I hear a lot of positive stories of building class consciousness within one's company, school, neighborhood. I quite like such positive examples from around the world. Would you be interested in such episodes, especially internationally? It would be interesting. Yeah, I mean, we could do like, I know Mexi, the YouTuber Mexi, does positive leftist news. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So if you're into that sort of thing, that would be the place to go, I think, because we'd be just kind of retreading the same ground, and she already does it quite well.
She does it better than whatever we could do.
Yeah, we're too shitposty. Now, why would you put your name upside down? Pumpkin Spice Waffle says, most based eating utensil. If you say the fork, the ghost of Mao will haunt you forever. Most based eating utensil. The
Your
ice cream
hands.
scooper itself. If you eat ice cream directly from the thing with the ice cream scooper. Bonus points if you got one of them fancy ones with the little lever that launches it, you launch it directly into your gullet.
Oh, I love it. Like, you're going to get a brain freeze, my guy.
I'm not really prone to brain freezes.
Dude, I can't. I take 2 bites and I'm like, fuck.
You are pathetic. You are so soft.
Yeah, I can't with that. But oh my god, if it's warm, on the other hand,
warm,
but not
ice
warm ice cream.
Oh, no.
Like a warm fluid of some kind. Tea is what I'm thinking.
Oh,
of.
tea. Okay, good. Right, of course.
I mean, you have several warm fluids that you can give me.
No, stop.
I love sexually harassing you when you goes in here to be the dad to pull us apart.
Oh, darn. Here's the one specifically for Hugo. Got to skip because he is kill. He's fine. He'll be back soon.
Let the man enjoy his vacation.
Yeah, he's fine. BB29. Hakeem, any good sources on communist Romania and why it was such a fuck up?
I made a video on that, and I think, if I remember right, I put some book recommendations at the end of it. So I called the video very stupidly. Not very stupidly. It's because I noticed a trend of this at the time on YouTube, and there was some videos that are popping off with this tendency. So I was like, "Fuck it, let me try it." I think I called it Romania an African coup in Europe or something like that.
Oh yeah,
I called it. I put Mobutu behind them and stuff like that. Just silliness. And the video did all right. It didn't do as well as I was hoping it to do. But everybody's asking, it's like, what does this mean? Oh my god! Like I even had to write a comment. I was like, this is meant for hyperbole. I have to, like, everybody has to fucking do this on this stupid platform.
Yeah, it's terrible. It's so obnoxious. People just take everything in the worst possible way. Even people who've been watching you for years, like, come on. Yeah. Moonrock, need a review of Tsingtao from Ugopnik for listener mailbag. I'm sure he will have had at least several while he was there. I will get him to give us a thorough review. Fun fact, my daddy likes Tsingtao. We were, back when we lived in Texas the first time, there was a Chinese restaurant that always stocked Tsingtao, and I haven't seen it much since, but that was always his.
Is this a Chinese beer? Or?
It's a Chinese beer, yeah. Violetta? I don't know. From USA. What do I do when no one else where I live wants to change anything? Like the common advice of touch grass and get organized, I get it, but I'm already part of several leftist orgs. I help the unhoused, I volunteer, I try to form friendships and community within organizing, but the most active orgs here do nothing beyond setting up booths at liberal protests. The people around me are violently opposed to socialism or any form of revolution that's not coming from the ballot box, and even casual stuff like running board game nights for my org is hard to get more than 1 or 2 people to come maybe once a month. Yeah, that's tough. You're in a lot of us in the U.S., like Hakeem was about to say, I believe, and we're in the educate and agitate phase. There's not a whole lot we can do if people aren't ready to join up. That's our job, is to get them ready, and it's a lot of thankless work. It's a lot of eating shit and being told that you're awful, that you should kill yourself, and a lot of dealing with obnoxious reactionaries and obnoxious, well-intentioned people too. You know, just nose to the grindstone, do the best you can, and when you're burned out, take a break.
Exactly right. Yeah. But just educate. It's just gonna take a long time. Like how much you're gonna have to keep hearing socialism is when government does stuff. You're gonna have to keep hearing that, like all this. You're just gonna have to keep debunking and talking and discussing, and days where years happen, years where days happen, and so on and so forth.
Sneck. Hi, I'm a South African, and I've really been enjoying your podcast. It has truly changed my outlook on the world. Hello there.
Thank you.
My question is, would you have any recommendations for podcasts or notable figures in the ML/communist sphere in South Africa, or Africa as a whole, to be honest? The context here is quite a bit different to the more Western countries, so any sources with that perspective would be great.
There is the China in Africa podcast, which is really good, but nothing else more specific than this that I could recommend, at least.
Yeah, nothing else comes to mind for me. So I guess start there, and any South African or African in general comrades sound off in the chat and ping our friend Sneck.
The Kenyan Communist Party has like an online presence, which is very interesting to see. Like it's fairly active, so you can check them out. And there's a very large like socialist movement in South Africa, which is also involved in electoral politics. That again, dude, it's so fucking late. I'm not remembering any fucking names.
The EFF?
I think so.
I think that's what it's called.
I think so.
This is the Kill de Boer de Fama.
Yeah, exactly right. Yes. And they also have a media presence. I know that they run radio shows as well in South Africa. You would know better than me. You're South African. So take a look there as well.
All right. Mex Storm. Hey, me and my wife have been part of leftist organization for about half a year, and there's been a lot of great stuff. But one thing's been bothering us. It is the sheer disregard for discipline when it comes to planning and communication in some areas, especially the fact that the people within the organization seem to accept it as the way it's always been and make no efforts to address it. How can I bring this up or demand discipline from other leftists/organizers without seeming like a piece of shit? The leading by example trick hasn't been effective so far. That's kind of what we were talking about earlier.
Yeah, that's the individualism part. That's the lack of, this is something that's very hard to explain or to make people understand. Socialist movements or political movements in general are not made by the will of people. They're made by social conditions, right? Discipline is instilled in people who are forced by circumstance to organize in particular ways. Otherwise, their direct livelihoods or quality of life in much more severe sense. I mean, not just like, oh no, I'll get slightly less treats. The Amazon delivery will be like $2 more expensive. I don't mean like that. I mean substantial, like, oh, I will lose my home and my life savings. They will I don't know, criminalize me being part of an ethnic, or this particular ethnic. I mean, significant, serious, right? Even Lenin mentioned this, that revolutions can't happen unless there is a significant and deep dip in social existence and living conditions in general. That's how revolutions are made. And that's why you encounter this stuff. It's because political life is so stagnant in the United States, and all this like repressed like rage at the inequities of the system are funneled into like fucking sports and consumerism, and that's the outlets that people have, that things can just gradually get worse and worse, and people aren't really driven to make social change about it. But it's just because the conditions is not the same. There's a reason why, for example, you would never once think to create an armed network across the United States. I'm not saying you should. I'm not saying you should. But Palestinians have no second thoughts about creating highly sophisticated networks of armed movements, for example. Same thing that was happening in South Africa and in Angola and in Mozambique. Same thing that was happening in Cuba, so on and so forth. That's what I'm saying. Like, what you're feeling is very frustrating, but it's not like, oh, these people just don't kind of want to do it. It's the conditions haven't forced them to take it that seriously. And of course you can try to, triumph of the will, to use a very bad example. You can try to just kind of, like instill that, but there's a limit where you reach. So in that case, I would say don't stop doing what you're doing right now, but try to focus on the educational aspect, educating and agitating, because in that case you lay the groundwork for better days, or better days meaning more radical days, where people will then be at a higher political and cultural level to be able to carry on forward.
Yeah, agreed.
And GT can answer much better onto this stuff comparatively, because he's actually American.
No, I agree with that completely. Until it feels like something other than a social club, like a morally correct, quote unquote, social club, then there's not going to be any. There's never been a fire lit under any asses to get people doing the things they need to be doing. So unless they have something on the line themselves, which is the case in more marginalized communities, which is why you see far more radical groups out of like the black community or the indigenous community or and other marginalized groups in the United States. Those are the more radical ones because they have a lot to lose. They're the ones currently being targeted, whereas the well-to-do left liberals who like to go hang out at the whatever their local org is, good for them for being involved, but they don't have much on the line just yet, so it doesn't feel as real to them.
Yeah, and that's why read into your own history. See why Americans were so radical in the 20s and 30s and whatnot. There's a reason for this, right? Yeah. And towards the end of the 30s, right, prior to the New Deal, there was huge leftist movements that were threatening. They're like, we either get the change that we want, or we will do what Russia did, right? And that was a genuine threat that was taken seriously by the ruling class of the United States. Those people weren't just more disciplined. It's not like they were more disciplined than you. Right. Of course, like there's a certain level of individual responsibility and want. Of course, this is all important. But I mean, as social movements go, it's not that people of the 20s just generally were born more disciplined. It's that conditions force them into these organizing spaces. So
exactly. A lot of them were like a lot less organized and disciplined. It's like, hey, boss, me and the boys were talking after work, and if you don't give us what we asked for, we're going to burn your house down. It's that kind of stuff. Yeah. So it's like because their conditions were so dog shit and like people were getting killed on work sites and stuff like that. So, okay, moving on. Comrade Paul. Am I cooked for trying to be a Catholic and a Marxist? Pretty much every big Marxist theoretician and leader considered the Vatican to be very reactionary, and communists are supposed to be excommunicated. Most aren't, though, lol. And historically, Catholics have been colonizers and collaborators. Non-Catholic Christianity, Islam, and Judaism were generally viewed more positively, and not without reason, but I firmly believe Catholic theology, and I've been Marxist for too long to drop Marxism. You're fine.
Yeah, you're fine. There's nothing... Like moving aside religious differences of different denominations of Christianity, and my own perspective on them and whatnot, the point is that the Catholic Church and these prior churches that existed prior to the Catholic Church as well, they moved through slave societies, so feudalism, they exist under capitalism, they will continue to exist under socialism, and so on and so forth. It's not that they exist in perpetuity, they change in form, but the bedrock of the existence of an idea of a church with this community in relation to God and whatnot, through this Christian lens, that's going to, of course, exist still. Coming to terms with the atrocities or crimes of the Catholic Church and so on and so forth is something that's only good for that. I don't know. It's not a movement, but that religious outlook, if you want to call it that. You continue. There's no contradiction. You can be a Buddhist and a Marxist. You can be a Muslim and a Marxist. You can be whatever else. It's this is such a tired point. We really need to grow up from this like rampant, like silly, like post-reform, like excuse me, not post-reform, post-enlightenment scientism, which they pass off as anyways.
Yeah, it's just another kind of form of bigotry.
And there's metaphysical.
Yeah,
metaphysical
there's the unfortunate thing with Catholicism in particular is an infatuation among young white men with some Catholic symbols. Deus Vult Crusader type stuff, like Vatican-y.
Get these people anytime you see any of these people, ask them, is the Father and the Son, are the Father and the Son co-eternal or not? They would not even be able to define what that term is. They won't be, and let them be like, no, they're actually not co-eternal. Oh well, congratulations, you're Orthodox. You're not fucking Catholic. Right? Like these people are obsessed with optics and symbols and whatnot. These are not Catholic. They might claim to be Catholic in that way, and self-identification, of course, has its own merit in that way. But the crux of the matter is that you have ignorant people of all flavors. Right? Yeah.
They're like big building, pretty. Wendy's not pretty. Must eradicate.
Yeah. Exactly right. Plus, I'm white, so white supremacy.
Therefore,
exactly.
Yeah, you're fine. Don't worry about it. Lolo
the founder
Ohashi.
of my church is a Turk and a Palestinian, but whites.
God wills it. Lolo Ohashi, Marxist Yakubist. JT, I was elated to hear of your interest in fantasy novels as a young, and especially that of R.A. Salvatore, as my father has been a fan of his work in epic fantasy in general for many years. Question, are you familiar with the Dark Elf trilogy about Drizzt Do'Urden? Yes, absolutely. Read it several times as a kid. Banger series. Have you read the works of Ursula K. Le Guin? Her fantasy series Earth Sea Cycle have beautiful prose and touch on the dialectical worldview in a very human and meaningful way. I genuinely believe they're worthy to be read out loud to your children. I have read... I think I've read 2 of those, if that's the series I'm thinking of by Le Guin. Question for Hugo, but alas, he is kill. Judith Butlerian Jihad. Hakeem and Yugopnik, have you ever had a Philly cheesesteak? I'm talking about 1 pound of steak grilled with onions and provolone on a 12-inch roll. JT, tell him how good it is. JT, you're my only ally on the show. I know Yugopnik's probably going to start talking about how bad that sounds, and Hakeem is going to talk about gut microbes or some made-up sci-fi anti-American bullshit. Please, JT, please defend the Philly cheesesteak. Look, the Philly cheesesteak. Are you listening? The Philadelphia cheesesteak. Do slap. It is delicious.
Why is it called a steak if it's mincemeat?
So it's not like a ground beef like you're thinking of. The cheesesteak, it's like shaved, like finely shaved sheets of beef.
Of meat.
Yes. And just drenched in whatever you want, really. Some people put like hoagie spread on it. Some people put
I don't know what
cheese.
Hoagie spread is.
It's like diced up peppers and stuff like that, and pickled stuff.
Don't they call onions wit or something? I've heard.
I've not heard of that. Wit. I don't know. But yeah, Philadelphia cheesesteak. The Philly cheesesteak. Get you one of them if you've never had one. It is delicious, and it's not that bad for you. Surely it can't be that bad for you. So somebody put a picture of a Philly cheesesteak in the chat a few below. So look at that and tell me that doesn't look appetizing. All right. Mostly for JT, what commander would you use for a socialist theme Magic the Gathering deck and why? Probably some white weenie commander, like some mono white terrible deck. Not because socialists always lose, though they sometimes do, but because they have a lot of token generation and stuff like that. I guess you could go goblins too for that. So Krenko, maybe. Krenko Mob Boss. That would be fun. All right, gang, as we move towards wrapping up, let's do just a couple more. You people had a conversation in the listener mailbag chat. That's not helpful. Thanks a lot. Green Turtle Collective. JT, how do you style your curls when it's not a wash day? They always look immaculate, mashallah. Oh, yeah. Thank you very much. That's very sweet of you to say. So for me, since I'm genetically cursed, I'm on that good shit. I'm on Hims. I'm on the Min and Fin cocktail. Which is the topical spray. So I have to get my hair wet every day in order to get it to get to my scalp. So stick my head under the faucet if it's not a full wash day, just to get my hair wet. Squeeze out the excess with a microfiber towel. Spray on my Min and Fin cocktail. Rub it in real good like. Miss Jessie's multicultural curls. Work that shit in, a lot of it. Then make sure once you've got all your hair coated with that, you go for the 2 pumps of the Diva Curl Ultra Defining Gel. Yeah, this depends on how thick your hair is, how coarse it is. Mine is extra thick and extra coarse, so I need a lot of product. And then just style it how you want, lay it how you like it, and then diffuse with a hairdryer on cool until it's like 80% dry, and then wait a couple hours and scrunch out the gel cast. That's it. Same as wash days, except I don't actually wash. Also from Green Turtle Collective, for you, Hakeem, which one is objectively and morally the better choice? Turkish burek versus North African style burek.
My pan-Arabism is clashing with my culinary preferences. Look.
Oh no! He's like,
I stick with my no. I stick with my people. I don't know what to tell you. No, that's all delicious. Actually, the difference is very subtle. I personally think they're both really good. The burek we have in Iraq is very similar to the Turkish, though. The few places that do it's not super popular here. It's not as popular as in the Balkans, for example. But yeah, it's what I'm used to. And oh my god, warm burek right out of the oven with. For us, it's bureg with a G, we say. With some nice black tea. Oh, my God. Hot black. Oh, fuck, dude. What a vibe. Do you know what I was? I should have taken a photo. I said it to you guys. I was in a candy store of all places. Not because I wanted to be. We were out walking late at night after an event. And we saw this silly candy store. And it was packed with with kids. Just, the filling bags of candy or getting like this what's it called, like larger containers. I mean, I guess they're normal containers for the States, but you know what I mean, like yes. Multi-packs, right? Yeah. And it's just kids getting candy, right? And we're like, fuck it, let's walk in. And we walk in, he's like, ooh, they have this kind of candy, and then in the middle this fucking burek stand in the middle of this candy store, they have this fresh warm burek. I was looking at it, I was like, we just came out, we just ate, like, and all that. I was looking, I was like, oh, should we get some cheese and spinach or some fucking...
Of course.
We did it. I regret it. I'm thinking of going back, actually.
Bless up. I love that. Yeah. All right, we're going to end. I'm scrolling down. There are a couple more conversations, and then there's some good comments in there, or good questions. But since we're on food, we'll end on this question by, that's why yo mama dead. Do you think good food is worth a night out on its own, or would you prefer having some activity to accompany it? I think if conversation counts as an activity, then you need an activity. But I think good food can be the event itself, personally. But usually, you're doing something when you're having a good meal, right? Just depends on where you are. Like a food truck, I guess that itself is an activity. You go, you order your food, you sit outside on the curb and eat your tacos or whatever you got from the food truck. Or you go to a fancy dinner in a restaurant. I don't know. What do you think?
Do you remember our most recent undisclosed location?
Of course.
We went to a restaurant, a very intimate seating restaurant. I think there was almost like 7 spots in there.
When we were back in the corner?
I called up and I booked 3 just for my boys. And it was this place that we were at, nondescript place, fusion with Nepalese food.
Oh, yeah.
Because the guy was from the nation and his wife was Nepalese. And the food there was fucking incredible.
That was lovely.
It was just so good. And we went out that night. I mean, I made the boys march the 50 miles.
Typical forced march.
like I always do. But this is after we came home and they're like, oh, my legs. No, I need to relax. Oh, boo, my legs. Yeah. I'm like, okay. I'll give you. I was like, I'm giving you an hour. You have a singular hour
Thank you.
to relax. And then we're going back out. But then I was like, you know what? Let me have some mercy. So I booked this restaurant instead. I still made them walk to it.
Piece of shit.
So we walked there. You loved it. You loved to start rating on us. It was lovely. We went there. We sat down. We had a lovely meal. And my favorite memory of that day is Hugo arguing with the waiter very gently. You know Hugo's form of firm, arguing, where he's like he is annoyed, but he doesn't want them to feel that he's annoyed, so he's just gentle and nice. But he's very to us, he's very clearly annoyed.
This is not what I ordered, but you know what? God bless. This looks amazing.
That's exactly. Especially the God bless. Especially, I love it. But he sat there arguing about the vodka that he needs to drink. He was like, no, it's a double. And he's like, we have one. I don't know what kind of vodka. Is Kahlua vodka? I don't think so.
No.
It was a K.
It's not.
It was a K vodka. I don't remember which one it was. And he was like, no, the K vodka tastes like piss. I don't want that.
Yeah. And two ice cubes.
Yeah, and he's like, 2 ice cubes. And he was like, and then he brought 1 ice cube. And he's like, look.
The poor guy.
1 ice cube. And he's just, when the life leaves the eyes of Hugo, it's such a beautiful sight because he still smiles. And he points with his whole hand, and then he lets his hand fall on the table with weight, so it thumps. He's just like, one ice cube. And then we just chatted shit. We had a great meal. Dude, of course a fucking outing to a restaurant is a good vibe. Of course.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah.
100%.
Please.
We're looking forward to the next one. Thank you for that question, for letting us reminisce. And thank you, dear listeners, for all of these questions. These were all wonderful. Some really insightful ones. Some really, really messed up ones in there. I love it. But, yeah, we know you guys enjoy these. We're sorry we're never able to get to all of the questions. There are just so many. But we hope you enjoy the answers that we do provide. So thank you. Stay tuned. Next episode, our beloved Balkan boy Hugo will be back in the house with tales to regale us with from China. I cannot wait to hear it, and I
think it will probably be just the China episode. How was your trip in China? Please.
That sounds great.
I think
we'll do that.
Would be great. We censor some photos and see what he's. Oh fuck yes.
That sounds like fun. We'll do that. Yeah. Hell yeah. Well, there you go. Listen, listeners, enjoy listening back to this at work. Enjoy some giggles at our expense. And please do look forward to the How Was China episode. Until then, this has been the Deprogram. I'm JT.
And I'm Hakeem.
And don't go anywhere with Hakeem or he'll make you march.
We're gonna go look at the rocks.